Yes, guys, welcome to this week's AMA and Chill. Thank you for joining us. We have a great show for you today. We are continuing our series of interviews with the Our Planet ambassadors. This week we will feature Alex from Future's Relic. Looking forward to this one. This is a really cool, unique project. So we will jump into that in just one moment. Also, we will, of course, bring you up on the latest news of what's going on in Wax and the NFT space in general. And we will, of course, wrap it up with some giveaways. So, without further ado, let's jump into this. Okay, guys, we're back. We're live. Same time, same place. Actually, it's a little bit earlier this week. Thanks for joining us. We had to actually move it up a little bit this week to accommodate our guest. We're going to actually jump right into this interview because he actually has a super important real-life job. Alex, he's going to be, he's holding down a local news station. So we're going to try our best to get him out of here on time. Before we bring on Alex, let's take a quick look at this really cool sort of promo video and get you guys up to date. If you guys don't know about this Future's Relic project, it's actually really cool, really unique. Let's check it out. Really cool. Really cool. So yeah, let's bring on our special guest. Everybody, let's welcome Alex from Future's Relic. Alex, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome, man. I'm glad you could join us today. We were actually talking about your project last week on last week's AMA, and basically we were like, let's get these guys on because I'm excited about this. This is a really unique, cool project you guys built, and there's a whole story to it. And so, and I know you're pressed for time, so we're gonna get you out of here on time. But let's start with just telling everybody, give everybody just a sort of a high level overview of the project, and then we'll sort of dig into a little more of the details here.
Okay. Well, when I started out in NFTs, I was looking for a project, and after like 20 ideas, I was like, no, like no one's wanting to help me. So I had to find something that was already done that I could use as a subject for an NFT project. So I had this short film that I had made in school with other people. So after getting their permission and stuff, I was able to use that film and just cut it up into different pieces. And since I'm like, I guess, psychologically hyperactive, I guess, then I decided to do all of these, break down cinema and just into all these different pieces. And so I've got this film on all sorts of rarities with various pieces of different functions, shall I say.
Cool. So yeah, I wasn't really familiar with your project at all, and the more I started looking at it, the more intrigued I became. I really love this whole sort of storyline you guys got going, or I should say you got going. I don't know how big your team really is, but it looks phenomenal what you have built so far. So, I found it really interesting, this whole like story that you have built, where there's I know there's these sort of different parts to it with sort of becoming an intern, and that sort of is like you're kind of building this film and this whole story with the well keeper and all this. So
That's it.
I want you to dig in and really give us the details here, and I'm gonna bring up your website while you're talking about it, and maybe you can just walk
Okay.
through and sort of start at the beginning and tell us, everything from, if you're just sort of a new person, just sort of taking a look at the project for the first time, what you would really do to get involved, and tell us about this storyline.
Okay. Well, it all started with a telegram that we received from a curious traveler. And that telegram explains that the curious traveler, he found, while he was on a trip out in the desert, he found an old film set that was abandoned. And so he took all the pieces, put them all into crates, and he sent it to us after being recommended to deal with us with Futures Relic. So that's basically what happens. And with all these first NFTs that came out at first, which were promos like Telegram, postal card, and then you had a shipping slip and a note from Mr. Curious. All of those are documents that you stack together with desktop instruments, and then, it just starts a process of you being an intern and playing with documents. So yeah, Futures Relic is sort of your local film office. We're looking for interns. So if you find a help wanted pack on the market, you open that, and that will give you everything you need to get started. And in the end, you'll end up with some wax seals. You'll end up with an intern editor card. You'll have done intern tasks. And, it makes you advance as an editor. And then you gain access to editor packs and stuff. And that's where you start collecting the actual collection pieces to assemble later in another schema. So to start out, it starts with the promo schema. You know how everything works with the schemas, right? So that I used it in that aspect where it was promo, then it was like an internship, there's production, and then there's the well keeper, which is a collection, or rather it's a schema that's acting as a collection, as a holder for all the pieces of the collection. Sorry. And then when you blend those, they fall into the final cut, which is like, that's what we're doing. We're assembling them, and we're doing the final cut for presentation later on. So in another phase, there will be a premiere, and in another phase, there will be like a director's cut. So I'm seeing like all the way down there as a vision.
Awesome. Yeah, man. So give us sort of an overview of where it's at now. Now, of course, like if you're an editor, you're collecting these pieces, from what I understand, and you're basically trying to build the film, right?
That's it. So the way I did it, using the rarities, I gave them functions. So the common rarity at first was just the slides, and the picture slides, they have a few rarities within them. So like just a picture slide, you'll have the whole Realm rarity schema, which is common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary, and mythic. And as a side, you have also an uncommon film thing, which is the Sonio preview monitor. So you've got a preview monitor of the clapper shot and the first shot on the reel that was shot in while the film was being filmed. And those are like the uncommon pieces, which are the Sonio preview monitor. Sorry, I'm watching the screen, but it's also with a small delay, so it's confusing me. Right. And then, afterwards you go into rarity. You go into rare. I mean, you have the negative slides that we have, not the slides, just the negative film. You turn them into positive, and then with another blend, you turn them into lenticular cards. Those cards with the lens, and when you move them, you see 3D or you see an animation in it.
Okay.
Then for the epic cards, those are the actual film strips. And then legendary, you have scrolls, which have the plans and the script, and you're trying to build a storyboard. And for the mythical piece, it's a mutoscope, which is an old style flip book, sort of. I don't know if you've ever seen that machine.
Yeah.
It's got a reel full of pictures, and it's just spinning around like that, and you're looking in a viewfinder. So those are the mutoscopes.
That's cool.
So yeah,
cool.
So yeah, and I can expand in any way from there. That was just like the first release out of there, and up till now, the way it worked in the desert, there were 3 film sets. And as of yet, we've received the first film location and the second film location. We're still missing the third film location. Apparently, they are stuck at customs, and we've received correspondence recently from the company helping us ship all that were helping ship all the pieces to us. And they were telling us that they found illegal minting paper inside the crate, so we're going to have to deal with that. And we don't know yet much about it, so it's still coming.
I see. I see. That's one thing I really like about this project. With a little bit of research I've done, I can really tell that it's sort of interactive. There's a there's a storyline that you're sort of that the people who are involved in the project have to really be following along, and I think that's what makes it really cool and sort of unique. And so yeah, I like this aspect of so it's so from what I understand, right, you've broken up this, the entire film is broken into these sort of stages, right? And so each location now is a part of the film, like this spot in the desert where we found these
Yeah,
parts of the film is now like one part of the film, and then eventually there'll be
that's
another
it.
part of the film, and then those parts of the film
That's it.
will.
So the whole film has 7 chapters,
Oh, okay.
and including chapter 0 as well, which is sort of the intro. So the first location, it carries chapter 0 and chapter 1. And the second location has chapter 2 until chapter 5, inclusively chapter 5. And the third location should have chapter 6 and 7.
I
It
see.
will have 6 and 7.
Okay, so that'll be like the end of the end of the movie.
That will be the end of the short story. Yeah.
Okay, and
So,
so
and
that.
also, like, while we have in the Well Keeper, we have 64 pieces of film, and now we're blending them into the final cut into 26 pieces. And later on, it will be into 7 chapters, and later on into one feature short film.
I
That's how we're
see.
doing it.
I see. So, I'm kind of now looking at the explain.
Stacks of documents. So,
Yeah. So I've seen now all these. You have all these like sort of relics like paper clip and file folder and paper clamp. Tell
that's
us
it.
how these NFTs sort of work their way into this film being.
Perfect. Perfect. So what happened is on the promo campaign when it started out, I made a mess in the market. There were so many papers everywhere. Our interns went crazy, So out came the desktop instruments, which are the paper clips, the paper clamp, and all that stuff. And they also have a rarity. So you assemble the telegram, the postal card, and then there's a letter that you would open, and you would get a note from Mr. Curious, which is one of these colored notes there. They're all the same notes, but the interns, they started printing them into different, using all the stationery paper. So they used our good paper. So anyways, now we're stacking the pieces of paper, the documents, using the desktop instruments. And if you get like a mythic note and you get a file folder, let's say, then using that little chart there that says, that gives you the wax seal rewards per stack, then once you've created your stack, you can turn it in and get some wax seals. And wax seals are actual like wax punch seals that you get on old style letters, right?
Yeah, I've
So
seen that. Looks like okay. I brought it up right here. So it's like an actual old school with the wax, where you have the metal sort of
that's
punch, or like you would see with the guy with the ring. In historically, they would sort of put their seal into the wax. Yeah, tell us
that's
about that too.
So okay, so that's sort of our token right now. We don't have a token. We don't have a coin. Not really interested, really, because I see all the coins always tanking, right?
Right.
So, anyways, we're minting tons of these, and if you have 18 or 24, you can redeem them for collection packs, like this film box that you can get for 18 wax seals, and those are collection pieces from the Well Keeper, and yeah, you collect wax seals by creating stacks of documents because we're recycling. So this is why there is a recycling plan, and they're all tasks within the internship. It's the interns that are doing all this dirty work. So
Right, I
and
see it. So yeah, so I see, like you said, the interns made a little bit of a mess. There's paper everywhere, right? So now it's this is sort of like the reward to help keep the place tidy, right? You gotta keep the papers recycled, and then you're going to get these seals, which it looks like there's various rewards associated with these
that's
seals.
it. The most common reward is actually the paper colored one with the wax seal on it. And you get from anywhere from 1 to 36 wax seals, which within one recycling plan that you would have done with a stack of documents. And people go nuts for that stuff. They clean the floor, they they
You got to
they
keep the
blend and
interns
blend and
busy.
blend, and they collect.
Yeah,
That works.
I love it. And so yeah, it looks like yeah, you got to keep the interns busy, right? So
That's it.
you have to keep creating tasks for them. So besides recycling, it looks like there's like a whole list of sort of tasks. This is sort of a whole nother aspect of it where you're like sort of tell us
So
about
when you
this.
open the help, when you open the help wanted pack, you get an intern package which has everything to do all the you have everything necessary to do every intern task, and you get one of these studio instruments, which is saying an SDK, a slate, a lens, a splicer, a pencil, and a crank. You get one of those as well. And when you complete intern task 4, then it will convert it into one of the production instruments, which is the ones that are animated just below the studio instruments. So a little note on naming stuff with names that are too close to one another. The ones that are not animated are called studio instruments. The ones that are animated are called production instruments. And that is the confusion of all time. But anyways, it doesn't matter. It still works.
Yeah, no, I hear you, and it's good to explain those things because I know how it gets.
Yeah.
One thing I like, and I'll just kind of squeeze in this comment. I'm assuming when you made this, when you did this original sort of film that you worked on in your college days, you weren't actually using a splicer and some of these. This is sort of like, it looks like the old school, like going back to the original actual film.
That's it.
Yeah, so I like that you've and it really has this. You've taken a lot of time to really ensure that all of this art really looks like old. It makes it look like these are artifacts, back from an age when the golden age of film. So yeah, I just wanted to squeeze that in. I really love this artwork that you've done, and I like this sort of old time look that you've incorporated everywhere in your artwork.
Yeah, totally. That's the look I'm going for right now. It's kind of the logo is with the hourglass as well, right? So here you have the picture slides, and you might see the companies that are, or the brands that are on the picture slides, and some might be familiar, but they are all adapted to the crypto world.
Sure.
So you've got the one the green one is called Fungifilm. The blue one is Token Chrome, and actually, they're based off real film companies, but everything has a pun. There's puns above, over puns, over puns. And when you get series of these picture slides, you're able to blend them into slideshows, which are on the right of the picture slides now. And, there's a further blend also, which will bring you into a slide presentation. So I'm kind of exhausting all the functions within cinema or like presentations and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's really cool what you've done here with these being able to. I mean, it really seems like you've nailed sort of all these aspects. You have this really involved sort of storyline, and then you have all these different. You have the rewards with the wax seals, and then these all these actual blending components. So it's like you've really gone out of your way to make sure that the project is really interactive, and that there's sort of a lot of steps to it. So I give you ultimate props on that, man, because obviously you can tell how much work has gone into this. Basically, this definitely isn't your sort of click and farm project. This is obviously a real project with a lot of thoughtful work that has gone into it, and you definitely have a vision that you're achieving here. So tell us a little bit. Speaking of your vision, let's hear a little bit about what sort of updates, what we're working on now. I know you said you're working on sort of the third segment of the film, which is actually going to be the last part of the film. But tell us a little bit about the future plans, and where will the project go after this initial first film has been assembled? Will there then be another lost set of film that the people find, and sort of a continuation of this same idea?
So within the same idea is to finish actually the well keeper. So yes, the third location will be coming. People tell me that they really like the way that the promo was done for the first 2 parts of the well keeper. So in keeping with that, we are advancing that story. And now I'm talking outside of Futures Relic. I'm talking like as the creator here. Within Futures Relic, we don't know anything that's coming, right? So anyways, but yeah, the third location will be coming because we need to conclude the story and to advance the blending as well. And so I'm working on that. It's just, as you may see, it's confusion right now in a sense, right? So it's even more confusing trying to advance the story, create other departments, do all sorts of stuff. And I'm not limiting myself because I'm the guy with the cigar here, so I'm calling the shots. So this is what happens when you get a creative mind with no limits. This is the type
Yeah.
of project that will happen. This is why producers tell you no. Okay.
Right.
So that's pretty much it. For now, it's just I'm advancing it to complete the third location. At least we'll have the end of the Wellkeeper story, and within Futures Relic, there will be an expansion as well. Because it took a while for it to pick up with people, because it was sort of the project that was a bit too complicated and stuff. But I've steered clear of just being a normal, like, collect 52 cards and that's it, So that's why I went
Yeah.
through all the rarities and stuff.
Yeah, it is
I will.
definitely really involved, and I could see why there would be like sort of there's definitely an intimidation factor, right? With such a well put together project, right? Like that's I guess the double edged sword of it, right? When you have a super simple project that all people have to do is show up and click a button, then it's easy to onboard new people. Whereas when you actually put a bunch of work into a real project, where people have to really pay attention and follow along, it's people feel intimidated to jump in. They feel like they missed the beginning or that they don't know what's going on. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I totally get that aspect. And hopefully, as you continue to do more things too, people won't feel as intimidated because they'll feel like they can get in sort of on the at sort of a ground floor, so to speak, so that they can follow along with the project. But I'm sure it's not too late to even get in now. Tell us maybe about where you're at with I know you said that this third film is coming out now. If someone was just to be trying to get into the project now, do people need to collect the previous? You need to basically collect things from the beginning, or is there still room to sort of come in and try to put together the film from where they're at?
Well, anyone interested can just find a help wanted pack from the market. That's where they are for now.
Okay.
And they can start from the internship and they can collect wax seals. And from that, they'll be able to buy some collection packs like film boxes or small canisters. If they start with film boxes, it's just the first two chapters. So that might be easier to find matching pieces that you can blend into the final cut. But we're still away. We're still two schemas of blending away from the whole thing being completed. So there's plenty of room for anyone to get in still, because all those pieces. There's 64 pieces of the epic film strips, and we're gonna blend those into 26, and then 7, and then 1. So there's plenty of room still. And every time I'm always adding new stuff. Sometimes if you have these, maybe this will open the door to something else, and and after doing it, like tons of ideas have come to my mind. So I'm going to branch off nonstop into different areas. And while our planet has been the most useful thing for Futures Relic to be exposed, really, with the staking, I call it a mini mooning. I'm sort of orbiting the moon for now, and but it's still it really helped. And being added to Wombat, which is sort of just a different type of staking. I'm going to branch off with some one-of-ones sometimes, and I'm going to branch off with whole schemas sometimes also to satisfy sort of all the staking worlds that we are included in. So everything can be staked, and everything can be blended further to get more points and stuff. So
That's awesome. Yeah, you're obviously really creative, man. Because obviously, if you've come up with this really elaborate sort of story here. It goes beyond just blending and collecting NFTs. There's a real story here, which I can really appreciate. There's a lot of creativity involved. And yeah, since you brought up Our Planet, yeah, I'm glad. And honestly, I didn't actually hear about your project until just until recently when we started this series of interviews with the different Our Planet ambassadors. So honestly, I hope that this helps get the word out about this project because sometimes it's just a matter of there's so much going on in Wax. There's actually all these different sort of mini groups within this group. We're all sort of part of the same blockchain ecosystem, but even within this ecosystem, you sort of have these factions and groups that sort of splinter off, and honestly, sometimes things get lost in the shuffle. And so hopefully with this interview, and hopefully we can really get the word out about your project, and hopefully we can get some new eyes on what you're doing over there. And as far as your ambassadorship to our planet, I like to tell all the ambassadors when they come on, we really appreciate what you're doing and what you're bringing to our planet, obviously, because that's we're trying to reward the people who are trying to grow our planet. So we're really working together all the way that these projects come, and we can sort of help each other to gain visibility and hopefully get new players and new collectors to find out about your project is really the goal.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
yeah, people who collect our planet as well. I have a bunch of blends, basic blends, which if you have Rig 2 or Rig 3 NFTs, then you're able to blend for some Futures Relic stuff. So that's available, and also on NFT Hive, you're able to. There's a bunch of drops on there that you can buy directly with some Aether as well. So I've tried to adapt, and I tried to include some stuff, and I thought maybe burning some Our Planet NFTs will help as well, because it always helps, and with the scarcity and stuff, right?
I didn't even know about that, man. I would have tried to have that. I would have tried to have that queued up so we could have showed everyone. But that's on. You said it's Nifty. It's on
Nifty Hive, because they do drops, and you can do them using Aether.
That was a new subscriber we had just join the Our Planet Twitch. So welcome to whoever that was that just showed up. I see this link here. Let me see if I can drop this in the chat. I'm gonna drop this link for everybody here. So yeah, guys, go check this out on NFT Hive. And also, you were saying how there's actually some that are available for Aether as well, which is we always love to see.
Yeah, directly on NFT Hive, there's drops that I did a few drops using Aether, and some people are buying them. And then I'm never really taking anything out. I'm always investing in this, because I'm the sole creator, or sole owner, runner, whatever. So I'm always on this. I'm always trying to keep it up. I'm always like voting, making sure, whatever.
Yeah. And it's so
a lot
much
of work, man.
And it's so much to keep track of. It's literally I was just gonna say, you took the words right out of my mouth. It's literally a full-time job to be keeping track of all this, and plus you're running one of the most intricate and well thought out projects, I think, maybe in the entire Wax space. And not only are you doing all that, but you're also obviously working a real life legitimate full-time job, which we unfortunately are going to have to send you on your way, because I know you actually have to bring the news to the people, to the folks in real life. So Alex, I really this went by so quick. I really appreciate having you on, and appreciate learning about Futures Relics. And I'm definitely gonna dive into this a little bit more now that I know a little bit about it. I think it's a great project, and we appreciate having you on. We appreciate you making the time for us. And please, when you do make the steps in the future, and this third stage of the film comes out, feel free to come back and join us anytime, and give us the updates, and come on again and talk to us.